Welcome back to Vintage Steel Garage. We're going to have a look at the steering issue, which is hard to describe. Sort of easy, hard, so it sort of jerks around. Right, so we're going to get this car in the air on these jacks, these quick jacks. If you've not got them, honestly, I was going to say I should have bought them years ago, but they probably weren't out years ago. They make it so much easier. Once you've got them in place, you get them under the jacking points, it's just up in the air and you've got great access to the whole car. So what I'm going to do, I've been for a drive in it now, and I've had a look at the hydraulic fluid and that's a bit dirty. So you want to really start off with the basics before you start spending thousands on your car. Just start with the basics. Tyres. Are the tyres good? Are the tyres inflated correctly? Is the hydraulic fluid in the bottle, which there is on this one? Is it tracking correct? Things like that, and then trying to get a bit of establish a pattern to it. Is it doing it when it's hot, when it's cold, high speed, low speed, all of those things. Now this particular fault is exhibiting it all the time. Slow, fast, static, moving. I've checked the tyres are all okay. So what we're going to do is jack it up without the engine running, just feel what it feels like, and just with the wheels just move them around and let's see if that's nice and smooth, and it's only doing it when it's with a hydraulic. So we'll get it up in the air first of all. Right, so there we go, we're up in the air now. Just going to put the ignition on just so the steering lock is off and see what it feels like now. So, right, so it's actually even stiff now. So it's going soft, stiff. You can probably see it move then. Stiff, stiff, soft, stiff, soft. Stiff, soft, stiff, soft. So it's as if it's linked. I wonder if it's linked to the revolutions of the steering wheel. Let's have a look. So that's where it goes stiff, and then it's easy again. Stiff, stiff, easy, stiff, easy. So it's about every 180 degrees of the steering wheel it gets a stiff spot. So let's get it back down, get the wheels off and see what we can see. So now we've got the wheel off, let's take a look at the brakes and the steering. So the C4S shares a lot of commonality with the turbo model, with the larger discs and calipers. So it's the first time I've had a look around this car, so it looks like it's had new tie rods on at some point here, ball joints at the front. Rack I know hasn't been out. Quite a lot of corrosion on this car actually. It must have spent a lot of time outside, but then again it could have just lived outside compared to the Boxster, which I know has had a very pampered life and has spent most of its life inside. It looks as well like it's had a new suspension arm on there, a new coffin arm at the bottom. I can see that's been replaced. There's Margot, say hi. Margot, say hi. Yeah, she's helping. So we'll have a look round, see what else we can see. I'm thinking the first thing to do is to just see what the steering feels like. I might even take these plastic arches off actually and see what's behind these arches and give this a good wax oiling while it's an opportunity to get there and address some of these bits here before they do actually go through, although it's a long time for that to occur. So let's see what we can see on the rack. see, it could be a number of things. It might not even be the steering. It could be the suspension. It could be the top mount on the strut either side that's tight and then giving that effect on the steering. So I think what I'll do, I'll just have a feel of it again, see what it feels like, and then probably take the ball joints off, and then it's just basically the rack connected to itself, and if it's still got tight spots we can then go deeper into the rack. If there's no tight spots, then we're on to the suspension and steering. So let's have a look at that. So I've had a quick look underneath. I think it's always interesting when you get a new project and you have a look around to see what else has been done on it. It looks in fairly good condition, to be honest. It's got 2 new coffin arms both sides and also new tie rods. Having a quick look round, it looks like potentially I need to change the anti-roll bar bushes, so I'll probably put poly bushes in those, but again, it's to be expected on something with that sort of mileage. And more interestingly, especially because it's been in the garage to have the work done, this front belly pan, which has a number of clips on, in fact it has some of these metal clips and a number of these small nuts. Now it should have on the nuts 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then of the clips 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically 10 fixings. I only have 4. So they're going on the list of things to buy. Don't mind the dogs. So now I've got the wheels off, you're going to see the effort required to turn it, and it's probably more striking now. We're at this position. In fact, I've got all the dogs in the garage now, and they've even brought me the ball. Right, so sorry about that. In fact, I should probably just make a video on dogs. So now with the steering, you'll see the effort required. And you'll see it's just unbelievably stiff. It shouldn't be that stiff. So you can see it notching round. So there's something very wrong with that. So what I'm going to do, if I can get it back, you can probably see here, this ball joint here is new. So I'm going to break this ball joint here, drop this down, and then it's just the rack on its own, and I should be able to push that backwards and forwards and see what that's like. So I'm going to do that next. So I've just undone this ball joint now here, and you can see this is moving nicely. Oh, one thing I have also spotted is the gauge on the CV is splitting on this side, so that's another job to add onto the list. So yeah, that's moving nice. No play in the suspension there, and that's moving pretty good. I've got Margot bringing me more presents. Yeah, so let me just entertain the dog for a minute, and let's get the other side undone and see what that one's like. So the driver's side put up a little bit of a fight getting the tie rod off. You can see someone's replaced it before. Obviously this is what happens when you take it to what you think is a good garage. Look, someone's hit it that hard. They've damaged the arm just a little bit there and caught it there. Anyway, this one I had to use the fork on it to get it off because that clamp wasn't long enough to fit. So I've actually damaged the gator, so I'm going to replace that with a new one, even though that is a new one. So it's a shame really, but however, now I've done it, we've still got the stiff element on the steering, which I think I have a hunch I know what it is, and I think if I show you here you'll see what I'm thinking. So if I go all the way round here now, so it's soft, goes stiff there, stiff, really stiff, then goes easy, and then goes stiff again. So every 180 degrees it's really stiff, which makes me think it's the UJ. There's two UJs on the steering column. So coffin arm has been replaced there, front coffin arm that side replaced. These brackets look a little bit rusty, but these luckily unbolt, so I'll just unbolt these and give them a coat of hammerite. A little bit of corrosion on the rear of the chassis there. You're going to start to get these type of things coming out of this age vehicle, so I'm going to address that while I can. Anti-roll bar bushes, again, they've seen better days, so I'm going to take this plate off, paint it, put new anti-roll bar bushes on. You can see they need replacing. Same on that side. The rest of it is looking pretty good though. What I need to try and do now is get to this steering UJ, which is going to be one of those ones you can see but can't reach. And you might just see it. In fact, and that might be nicely on it there, just at the top. It's a bit hard to see. You can just see it there. So I'm going to try oiling that one first of all, get some spray grease on it, and then I might have to work my way up to the top one, which is a bit further up. Well, excellent news. Had my first quick win on the 911. As I said, there was that tight spot every 180 degrees, which made me think the UJ on the steering couple. I've greased it, well, not greased it, I've lubricated it with some maintenance spray like WD-40 spray, and it's actually free now. Look at this now. I can actually turn the steering wheel. Now bear in mind the wheels are off and I've got the steering arms disconnected, but you saw before how I was trying to turn the steering and how stiff it was. Look at this now. So with just one finger, still a little bit of a tight spot, but not as bad as it was. So I'm just going to put a bit more grease on it and oil on it and get it running, but that's proof that's what that was. I couldn't do it one-handed before, and even better if you go around to here now, and I definitely couldn't do this before. I couldn't do that. So I'm going to connect this side back up. I'm going to connect the driver's side back up. Obviously I've had one casualty with a steering a ball joint arm, but I'm going to see what it compares like when that's back on. So got the steering arm back on, the ball joint back on I should say, connected that back up. The other side's disconnected, but you do remember that when I had one side disconnected I still couldn't move it. And look at this now. Now that noise you can hear is just the hydraulic fluid being pushed through the rack. What I'm going to do, I'm going to flush the hydraulic system anyway. Yeah, so there's no, basically there's no tight spots on that anymore. That's moving nice. Look at that. Excellent. Well, I think that'll do for the end of the first episode investigating this steering. I'm pleased to say that I'm pretty confident it's fixed. I've not test driven it. I need to order a ball joint. I need to replace the power steering fluid. Probably need to go on a test drive and also maybe do some tracking afterwards. I might even replace the inner tie rods and then just the whole steering is done. But I'm pretty confident I've resolved that problem, so that's a quick win and I'm really pleased with that. Obviously it's a Porsche 911, parts are quite expensive and something somewhere will bite me on the ass. But so until the next episode, thanks for watching, please like and subscribe and we'll see you soon.